This is really a video that I never thought that I would actually have to make. And nobody, really a video nobody ever wants to make. Saturday, April 10th, 2022, having gained another Angel, former Washington Redskin, Washington football teamer, quarterback, 24 years young, Dwayne Haskins was taken from us. The details do not matter. And today we are remembering Dwayne Haskins, former 15th overall pick back in 2019. Entering this upcoming season, he was in competition to get a shot at being the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sitting here 5 months older than Dwayne, and people tell me all the time, I got my life right in front of me. And Dwayne had his whole life plus career, newly married man, everything right in front of him. And all of it was just taken away on a moment's notice. And to be frank, who cares about Dwayne Haskins, the football player? Dwayne Haskins, the person, left a huge impact on a exuberant amount of people. Hometown kid from Potomac, Maryland, always, wanted to be a Buckeye, dating back to that interview with Ryan Day, was committed to the Terps, but changed last second. And, ended up being one of the best decisions that Dwayne ever made. He ended up living out his childhood dream, beating out Joe Burrow to be a starting quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And I think he broke, 28, 30 school records in the process. So Dwayne Haskins, forever a Buckeye legend and, understandably so. So, who could blame Washington, then Redskins fans for being excited? Hometown kid, coming to be the franchise quarterback for the Washington Redskins, then football team, now Commanders. It was written in the stars. And, me thinking back then, I was clamoring for it in all the mock drafts. I was absolutely ecstatic about it. He was in the Heisman running. Dwayne Haskins was absolutely lighting up college football. And like I said, this isn't all about what was on the field. This is about what was off the field too. Dwayne always had a smile on his face. He was a man of God. And, Dwayne Haskins always had a sense of humility to him. And I always felt like he was misunderstood during his tenure here with the Washington Redskins at the time. Parted ways with the organization, January 2020. And, like Coach Rivera said at the time, that was the best thing for both parties at the time. And, Dwayne got a fresh start, a clean slate with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Before the trade deadline, I'm like, Dwayne Haskins got a good head on his shoulders, all the traits to be a starting NFL quarterback. He's got to tune up some of those things. And he had that chance, and none of it had really come to fruition. He didn't get to enjoy the fruits of his labor, so to speak. And other than the scale of life, that is another truly tragic aspect of what happened on Saturday. And, as everybody watching this knows, it absolutely took over, Washington Commanders, social media, everybody sharing their fondest memories of Dwayne. A couple of them in particular, pop up in my head. And of course, everybody in the Steelers organization and the Washington Commanders organization made some releases. I'll put them on the screen here and pause if you want to read them. But just a couple of memories off bat that jump out when I think about Dwayne Haskins and just who he was as a person. Being a rookie first-round draft pick, made sure he signed every single autograph, talked to every kid, took all the pictures. Dwayne did all the things right off the field. And, I think some people really like to downplay just how bad this organization was on and off the field when he was selected with the 15th overall pick back in 2019. And, some things just don't work out. That's life, and it really is crazy to sit here and look back at some of the things that this fan base said about Dwayne Haskins. And I'm not immune to that. I've still got my 7 jersey. I bought it first training camp after I met Dwayne. Got his autograph, got a cute little video of him. He was laughing his ass off. I was wearing my League Done Messed Up shirt.
League Done Messed Up, though.
Oh my! League Done
Messed Up. This fan base was full of Dwayne Haskins supporters, and I cannot put enough emphasis on the fact that a lot of us, believe it or not, wanted Dwayne Haskins to succeed outside of the burgundy and gold. And what makes this so fucking sad, man, is that he didn't even get his chance to do it. Big Ben hanging up the cleats. You're competing against Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky. I still believe that Dwayne could have been that guy. It just wasn't for us, man. It happens all the time, but just you look at his teammates, you look at Chase Claypool, you look at Terry McLaurin, whose statement just absolutely gutted me, man. I mean, there's just been a cloud over my head ever since I've heard about the news. And, I got to witness his first home win, and I feel like people just take life way too seriously sometimes, and they forget how quickly it can get taken away. I mean, Dwayne's first home win, he was celebrating with the fans. I mean, we were a dumpster fire organization. He's taking selfies. He's having a good time. And I remember the energy there with KOC as the offensive coordinator. Him and KOC had something cooking there at the end of the 2019 season. Looked like the future was bright, but, us Commanders fans, we can never have anything nice. And, if you look throughout social media, you see for the most part that everyone who's ever interacted with Dwayne had nothing but nice things to say about him. I can say that I was genuinely rooting for him to succeed outside of DC, because I think people often forget how hard it is to actually succeed in a place like this, an organization like this, a fan base like this. I mean, one minute mistake, but I'll tell you what wasn't a mistake, and it was the stuff that Adam Schefter, Gil Brandt, and all those people, I mean, things certainly haven't changed ever since Sean Taylor died. And if you go back and look at some of your major media outlets when that happened, you can just see some of the insensitivity, just the disgusting comments. And I'm not even going to give that any airtime today, because today is about Dwayne Haskins, the person, not even really the quarterback, And, it really just is a sad day for Washington Commanders fans, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Ohio State Buckeyes fans, Dwayne's family, Dwayne's wife. I mean, just everybody who knew Dwayne Haskins. I'm only 5 months older than the guy, and I walk around feeling like I'm invincible all the time, man. And I really couldn't imagine, really, and he couldn't have either, no matter the circumstances, that just a really sad day, man. A very sad day. So from us here at the Sidelines Washington podcast, YouTube channel, Sidelines Sports Network, I just want to give our heartfelt condolences and prayers to the Dwayne Haskins family and, his mother, his father. I know they were extremely proud of their son, and he was still well coveted in the area, and just a bright young man just gone way too soon. And thanks for the memories, Dwayne. Rest in power.
Moreau with his second pick today, third by the Redskins, as Dwayne Haskins celebrates with the fans his first victory as a starting quarterback in the National Football League.
Probably the first of many. I did around, but this Redskins defense were all over the place last week in that loss to the Jets. Today, they get Jeff Driscoll for 3 interceptions. None more critical than Quentin Dunbar's.